Alright guys, today I'll be reviewing Darien Lake in Buffalo, New York. This is my home Six Flags park. I go here all the time, and I went back for the first time of 2023 last week, and I gotta say, it's a bit better than it's been in the past couple years, and I'll explain why in this review. Lately, Six Flags has made some questionable decisions. I made a video earlier about how they made an actually good app, but that's about it. They've dug themselves in a really deep hole, and it's going to be hard to get out of it. They've priced people out, lowered quality. It's been bad, but I'm happy to say quality's gone up a little bit at least. So for starters, parking is normal. If you have a season pass, then it's free, so that's nice. Entrance is really nothing special. It's not a very great entrance. You have a pretty good midway, though. Like, to enter, you have some nice fountains. You go under a bridge that actually used to connect to another part of the water park. So overall, the entry experience isn't bad. So now let's get into the roller coasters and the rides, because that's what everyone goes to Darien Lake for. No one goes to a Six Flags park to take in the atmosphere, let's be real. So for starters, you got Ride of Steel. This is your headliner, and it's definitely a good attraction. It's not up there with something like Diamondback, but it's definitely a fun hyper coaster. You got some good speed, good airtime moments, especially the second airtime hill. That's really strong. So yeah, that's definitely a decent number one for the park. Number two is Predator. This got some new Titan track this season. It made it a lot smoother. And overall, I feel like it's running a bit slow this season. It's not quite as good as it was before, but overall, still a definitely underrated wooden coaster. After that, you've got Tantrum, a good Gerstlauer Eurofighter. This is a clone of Crater at Park Del Cafe and Iron Shark at Galveston. You've got Viper, and this was actually the first coaster to go upside down 5 times. It's not very good. It's an old aero looper. It's getting rough. Those over-the-shoulder restraints really do suck, but the first drop's good, and the atmosphere's all right, especially during Fright Fest. You've got Moto Coaster, which is a Zamperla Moto Coaster. It's a clone of rides like Steeplechase at Luna Park and others. So yeah, nothing too crazy there. Then you got a duo of infamous Vekomas. You got the classic 1-2 punch of the Vekoma SLC and the Vekoma Boomerang, and neither of these have good restraints. I mean, me personally, I actually like SLCs, so that doesn't bother me much. But yeah, the Vekoma Boomerang here, just called Boomerang, it's not very good. It's kind of rough. The backwards vertical loop is always great, but I mean, I rode this after riding Jolly Rancher Remix, so like, maybe I'm a bit spoiled, but whatever. Then you also got a kiddie coaster and Hoot and Holler that you can't ride without a kid, so that sucks if you want the +1. So now let's go on to other rides. This park, oh my god, you can't come here without doing Moose on the Loose. This thing is crazy. This will be the best ride of the day for sure. It's so weird. There's other rides like this. I know Dollywood has one. There's some in the Peppa Pig lands, but yeah, this is definitely the best. This is the Moose on the Loose. It has the goofy audio. It's got the moose. It's perfect. Other than that, you really don't have many notable flat rides. You have a Sky Screamer. This one runs pretty fast, so I'd say do it if you have time. It replaced Twister, though, so that's kind of an L, but I think this is slightly better than Twister. You've also got a pretty lackluster drop tower. It's an S&S one. It's called Blast Off. You also got a Larson Super Loop and Rolling Thunder, and an Enterprise with Silver Bullet, so that's a rare one. Definitely do that if you see it open. But yeah, you got some others like Corn Popper, Pirate, nothing special. But yeah, those are the main ones you're going to want to do. It's also definitely worth noting that they removed their Ferris wheel, and they haven't replaced it with anything. And I'm skeptical if they are going to replace it with anything. I think an Zamperla Discovery would look amazing going over the water. That would be so cool. Imagine something like Titan at La Ronde. Yeah, that would be great here, but let's be real. That ain't going to happen for Darien Lake. I mean, Six Flags won't even invest money in Great Adventure or Magic Mountain. And now I want to get into kind of the park improvements, what they've done this year to make it better than last year. They've planted some flowers. I repeat, they've planted some flowers. Like that's news. That's news for Six Flags. They look cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit underwhelming not seeing like any new upgrades to rides besides Titan Track or any new rides, but it looks a bit nicer, which definitely helps a bit. I kind of noticed that at Hershey Park that they take really good care of their rides, and that definitely helps when you're waiting in a long line. The food, supposedly it's supposed to be better, but I don't know. I didn't eat anything there. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see throughout the year. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just try to avoid the food. Who knows? I will say the bathrooms are nicer. And that may seem really stupid noting that, but trust me, if you have to go number two, you want nice bathrooms, and they're definitely good. You got your normal midway games, nothing's really changed there, although they did take out the ladder climbing game, which kind of sucks because I'm actually kind of good at that game. So if I did ever want to try to win something, that'd be one of my go-to games, but not anymore. It's just picnic benches. As I noted in other videos, Big Kahuna's closed and Heave Ho's also gone, so that kind of sucks. But they actually had like everything besides Moto Coaster open when I went, which is really good. Like I was expecting half the park to be closed, like it was pretty much all of last year. But no, pretty much everything besides Moto Coaster was open, which I was really pleased with. Overall, I got 2 rides on Ride of Steel, 3 on Predator, 1 on Haymaker. I don't know why I did that. And then 1 on Tantrum, Mind Racer, Boomerang, and Viper in only 4 hours. So the operations are definitely good, especially on Predator Crew. Shout out to the Predator Crew when I went. That was great. Some of the others could have used work. I know Tantrum was only running 1 train again, which that's a disaster on that ride. You can't have 1 train on that. But yeah, the staff seemed a bit better than last year, which I can definitely appreciate as someone who definitely wants to work at parks when they're older. So overall, is Darien Lake better than last year? Absolutely. Is it a must-do, one of the best in the country? Absolutely not. It's still a lower tier Six Flags park, but that being said, it's definitely worth going to a few times if you're in the area. So for its final score, I'm going to give it a 400 out of 1,000. That being said, I am comparing it to the top dogs like Hershey Park, Cedar Point, Six Flags Magic Mountain. So I'm comparing it to that stuff. If I'm comparing it to other parks in New York, it probably gets like an 800 out of 1,000. So definitely come here if you're in the area. Maybe get a season pass just because of how cheap. All right,
the water park's open for some reason. I've got no clue why. It just poured.
Still needs a lot of improvement.
But yeah. I'm probably going to do Ride of Steel first. So
I might be
first time on that of the year. So far, I've only been on
that's going to be the video,
Viper and Tantrum this season because it was packed last Friday. But yeah, I'll see you when we get off.